Hi, I'm Wayward, and this is Command & Conquer Remastered. Have a 1 versus 1 for you today on Green Acres, which is not a map you see too often. It's not a super long one, but I figured I'd give it a chance. At the top center, just now unpacking his Conyard, is ViciousKid as our yellow nod, and at the bottom center, also just now unpacking his Conyard after quite a little trip, is Strelok, our blue GDI. I always say this. I do like seeing GDI play. I do like playing them. I actually play GDI in Command & Conquer Tiberian Dawn. I'm terrible, but that's beside the point. And anyway, I feel like they're harder to win with, and so I always jump at a chance to try to see some skillful GDI play. So hopefully that happens here. A ton of, I believe these are Grenadiers coming out for Strelok. And for ViciousKid, we have the requisite batch of Flame Troopers Strelok hitting right into the harass, finding ViciousKid pretty quickly. This is why matches tend to be so short, by the way. It's a small, square, open map. ViciousKid actually opting for double infantry production, which I think is a smart move, because you see Strelok is not doing that, actually, but he has a ton of Grenadiers. Grenadiers are one of the more effective GDI units, so they tend to go with them pretty often. I think this might be a bit of an overcommitment, especially off of one barracks, but it seems to be paying off. Right now, Strelok is up a refinery. Just now, ViciousKid gets his third, so not really true anymore. Actually, Strelok could do a lot of damage with all those Grenadiers right now if he went in, because ViciousKid has nothing. He's got like 4 guys. Strelok getting a pretty good scout in. Almost. Looks like that Grenadier got stuck. So Strelok with a pretty good widespread defense. This will hold off any early pushes. So I think this is a smart move by Strelok. Now he's trying to save up money. I don't know if he's going to go for an additional. He does have a weapons factory right there. War factory, rather. So he's transitioning into vehicles. It remains to be seen. There's that first medium tank. So it looks like he's got enough income to sustain medium tank production. Meanwhile, I do see the airstrip up for ViciousKid. And what does the nod ever get besides buggies? And there's that first buggy, of course. Pulling those Grenadiers back, trying to make this push costly to attack into those Grenadiers. I think that makes sense. Now, 3 buggies, that single medium tank forcing them back for now. ViciousKid now up to a 4th refinery. So unless Strelok, a 2nd weapons factory, I think that, oh my gosh, he is really committing hard to this. He has actually sold off his Conyard, giving him enough money for the short term to get a ton of medium tanks. This is actually a really smart play. Gets that double production, makes it really hard to shut down the medium tank income. He has enough refineries to keep getting income coming in, if he can defend them from these buggies, that is. They actually have a ton of the harvesters, have a ton of hit points, so not super scary in the short term. ViciousKid still harassing. Oh, Strelok, what are you doing? You're going to lose your refinery, bud. But maybe he's going to sacrifice that refinery for a chance to win the whole caboodle. He's going to have to make something happen really quick. Grenadiers attacking, tanks attacking. The airstrip is about to go down. It is gone. So now the medium tanks are focusing on the Conyard to prevent any additional buggy production. This is nuts. I love to see this. This is amazing. Now, ViciousKid, he does have a ton of buggies, and he did take out, no, he did not take out that refinery, actually. Strelok now out of money, and with a damaged refinery, this is going to be really hard for him to keep up with. We have those minigunners being killed by the tanks continuing to pull back and actually, like, basically kite these buggies. Quite interesting. Nice splits by ViciousKid, keeping as many of those minigunners alive as possible, dealing their insanely high DPS to the tanks. So Strelok in a weird position. Does have a... Oh, we are actually transitioning to light Humvees. I don't know what their actual unit name is. Light Scouts, something like that. So that is actually really clever. Strelok knows exactly what he's doing here. He's got basically the bare minimum of income to take out these units and to do what he needs to do. Crazy minigunner spam, but I think there's enough light scouts here, plus those tanks, to keep them dying. I think ViciousKid, while he does have some money, might have to revert to his other hand of Nod, because there's still 3 tanks, and none of these light scouts have been killed. And no matter how many minigunners ViciousKid has, that's just not going to cut it. More scouts coming out. This is a great transition for Strelok. He knows exactly what he's doing. I love to see this methodical play. ViciousKid trying to save his harvesters, but I don't think that's going to work. That first Humvee going down. Possibly another one. No, nice micro by Strelok, keeping that one damaged Humvee at the back. Continuing, the one does go down. This endless chain of minigunners is actually working better than I would have thought, but with these 3 tanks up here attacking the refinery, that is a really bad position for ViciousKid to be in. Now monopolizing on the minigunners. Looks like that was a sell-off, so that's smart. But this hand of Nod is about to go down to a single hand of Nod. Wow, look at that micro. No, Strelok, you... Oh, no. He's forgotten to continue attacking. These tanks are eventually going to go down to the minigunners. Let's see, I can't really pick out. We're still on the light scouts, actually. Minigunners doing surprisingly well. Only 1 tank left, but there's a crap ton of these Humvees, these light scouts. And this is almost like watching GDI versus Nod in reverse. The huge maneuverability of these light scouts is a really big deal. They can't, and using the harvester to try to crush minigunners is a very smart idea. Congrats to ViciousKid for not giving up on this, and the minigunners actually doing better than you would think, and possibly better than they would if the defending player were GDI and the aggressing player were not. It feels like the Buggies kill minigunners faster, but maybe I'm discounting minigunners a little bit. Strelok with the masterful splits there. Gotta love seeing that, and I think this is probably about all she wrote for ViciousKid. There's just so many scouts, and I don't think the light trickle of minigunners is going to make any difference at this point. This seems to be an effective concession, I think, from ViciousKid. Just kind of producing 1 minigunner at a time and watching them explode. Down falls that globe, and that was the last of ViciousKid's ability to produce units. So, wow, that was just a very methodical game by Strelok, just kind of picking his opponent apart piece by piece. ViciousKid was thinking that this is going to go exactly how Nod versus GDI always goes. You just get the airfield out and make a bunch of Buggies, and then you win. But Strelok was like, no, that's not what's going to happen, and let me show you what GDI can do. So, phenomenal match. Thank you very much, Strelok, for showing me how to win as GDI. I may try to copy this into a poor man's version and fail. But anyway, this has been Wayward, and this has been Command & Conquer Remastered. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next time.